You mentioned in I think it was the first experience, how because you're very type A and thinking about a lot of things, you had to push yourself through to let go in a way. And that really resonates with me because I've had a handful of ketamine experiences in a therapeutic setting, and I have very high neuroses where crazy amounts of mind chatter. And I don't think, at least in my experiences so far, I was ever able to truly overcome that.
Mhm.
How would you guide me to? It's one thing to say let go. It's another thing to know how to do that and to and to actually do it. How would you guide me to actually let go during these experiences?
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think of when I first did. It's probably with 5-MeO. Have you tried 5-MeO
I
DMT?
have not. No.
So I think it really just takes being forced. If
Yeah.
you're people like what it sounds like you are and what I was, you do the toad and you don't have a choice. You're gone. And so with that experience, I just completely had to let go. There was no choice. And so when I went there and I came back and it's okay, my body's still here. I'm perfectly fine. I'm physically fine. And that was really powerful and beautiful and incredible. And so I think that just gets embedded in your psyche of, oh, it's okay to do this. This is actually really great. It's possible. Yeah. And I think the physical safety is a big part of it, that like it feels really unnatural when you're at that wall, when it's like your awareness is really trying to let go of this ego that we cling to and associate survival with. So it's like a survival mechanism that we cling and we stay and we hold on to our thoughts and our normal waking awareness. But if you go to put if you to have an experience and have a dose where you're forced to go and you're in a really safe environment with someone you trust, ideally, then I think that's just really what you need to do that moving forward. So now I can even get there with 2 grams of mushrooms, which
Mm.
before that would probably require 5 grams.
Can you describe a little more your 5-MeO experience? What was the setting? What were you doing,
Yeah,
and what was
sure.
the actual experience like?
So that was in San Francisco. That was my first deep psychedelic experience. Just bam, wham,
Straight to
bam.
it.
Thank you, man. Straight to it. Yeah, my ex-boyfriend in San Francisco had a guide that he introduced me to, who is now still my guide and very close friend, amazing person that's helped me a lot along my journey. And so he introduced me to him to have one of these experiences and came to our house in San Francisco, and I was sitting down on the floor and just there was some preparation stuff that I worked with him on that week, like with setting an intention and cultivating a really like open, receptive state, fasting, writing. My first one though, I was not like deep along the mindfulness path. So I did not fully let go during that one, believe it or not. It took
Mm.
till my second one until I did. But for that first experience, 3 different doses, smoked it. And the first dose was like a lower dose to get me familiar with it. Second dose was a really high one. And the third dose was like coming down. And yeah, no, I didn't fully let go. I don't really remember it, but in detail, but it was probably like what you're saying, where I clung to my reality and I was very much aware of people watching me. I think that got me up close and personal with that wall of like external validation and worrying about how I'm seen and being seen as vulnerable. I got really up close and personal with all that because I just could not let go and I wanted to scream and spit and dance and flow, but I was like, someone's watching me.
Huh.
And so I didn't do any of that. And so I did not fully let go with that one. But I think it was about 6 months later where we had another experience in the same setting and the same dosing. And I think just me getting more comfortable with psychedelics at that point and had tried it before, I was able to really let go. And it was just that one was just really beautiful, just really positive, beautiful, just a lot of feelings of love and expansiveness, of like compassion flowing from me and into me. And that must have just been like my state at that time, but I didn't really feel like I got up to any like painful walls or anything, but it
And
was
this is
like
also with like eye shades and music.
yeah, yeah, I'm learning that's not obvious. But I guess that's really like been my practice. That's how I really go into it. My mind is extremely vast and visual. And so I create whole worlds behind my eyes, even just when I dream. So psychedelic experiences just with eye shades are really cool for me. And I thought that's how it was for everybody. But for some people, they might want to keep their eye shades open, interact even. But I'm very internal in my head, and I work through a lot of stuff doing that. It's really crazy how much lives in there and how vast it is. Yeah, eye shades and headphones. I did that with ketamine. I do that with my high mushroom doses too.
So when you say you work through stuff, what does that actually mean? Is it similar to a lucid dream in that you're in this sort of crazy visual state, but you can control it to a degree, and you're specifically
Mm.
trying to bring up certain memories or thoughts? What does it mean to
Yeah.
work through something?
So to me, what that means is, like I said, during the ketamine experience, I tried to drop personal stuff in. Didn't really work there, but
Mhm.
in mushrooms, it typically does. And in 5-MeO, it typically does, where I will just think about a person in my life or a relationship or a behavior or something that I know, like going into it, that I want to like understand better, that just my day-to-day ego being wrapped up in it is never going to give me an unbiased look at it. It's never going to help me see it in a way that's going to understand, is this serving me or is it not? And so it gives you clarity. You drop that personal stuff in, and it's almost like the experience is its own little like wise entity, that I'm just this little bumbling person walking through it. Teach me what you want to teach me. And that's kind of what my mind is doing. Just like looking around, what do you want to show me? And it just is this new, like, insights come up, discoveries come up around just how I see and perceive things in my life and what I choose to drop in, that I feel like I can come out of it and make decisions on what path to go down, what work to do, who to connect with in my life, what relationships to keep, not keep, whether to move somewhere, like these big decisions that I think like your unconscious knows far more than your waking awareness does. And I just feel like it's been really helpful for me to understand myself on a really deep level that has helped me. I just care so much about living my best life, really, and
Mhm.
helping other people do that. That's what I see psychedelics doing, and that's why I care so much talking about it, is self-actualization. And we actually don't know what that looks like. I think that our truth lies super deep, and psychedelics can help us understand what our truth is and then actualize it.